This is the Apollo 16 lunar surface experiment package. This up here is astronaut John Young working on it. Taking the picture is astronaut Charles Duke. Duke is still alive. He's 89 years old. I actually emailed him to ask him about this experiment. The reason I asked him is because the Soviet radio telescope, Raton 600, picked up signals from the main power station, or the main station up here, years after they left, confirming they really went to the moon. And I wanted him to talk about more of the station. Not many people ask about it. So before he passes away, I wanted to ask him. Because in a few generations, it's going to be the majority opinion that we never went to the moon, in my opinion. He said, I removed the Apollo lunar surface experiment package from the rear of the lunar module and also the plutonium fuel module. Carried them to the deployment site and we began to deploy. As I recall, there was a heat flow experiment, 2 seismic experiments, a magnetometer. This in front, by the way, is the magnetometer. And maybe one other. John was responsible for hooking up the power source while I started work on the heat flow experiment. There were a lot of cables around the central station, and John accidentally pulled loose the heat flow experiment power source while we abandoned it and went on to something else. Everything else deployed correctly and worked perfectly. That was about it, Charlie. End quote. So, kind of interesting. He answered some questions for me, and he's the last Apollo guy who does that. All the other ones are either too old or dead.